Welcome back, everybody. So today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. If you've been watching this channel, I'm kind of an amateur chess player who wants to get better, and there are a multitude of different ways to do it. I've mostly been playing games, but I don't study enough. So I'm making a new series where you can study chess with me. Um, right now, what I have is, let me, hang on, get this all nice and set up on my side. Let's see, this is the first time I've done this, so hopefully this keeps on recording the way that I want it to, but um, so what I'm going to be doing is reading through the book, How to Reassess Your Chess, the Complete Chess Mastery Course, 3rd edition, by Jeremy Silman. There is a 4th edition, but I wasn't able to find one. But here's a 3rd edition, which is, I am sure, just as good. So what I'm going to be doing is just reading through these, and hopefully it all comes out looking decent. I might have to change the way that I have this layout because it's definitely not ideal at the moment. I wish I could turn the way that this got copied is it is both sides of an open book. So I just thought we could study this together, and I'll just be reading it out loud and saying any of my thoughts out loud. So here we go. The contents. So we got key notation symbols. I'm decent with all that. Preface to the 3rd edition. We got an intro. Okay, so we got 1, 2, how many parts we got? 4, 13, 15, 16. 16 parts. So I don't know how quickly I'll be able to get through each one of these. It looks like they are of varying length. So this first one is just, what, 12 pages? Next one is just like 4. Then the next one is 12. And this minor pieces in the middle game, so part of why I'm doing this too is I feel like I'm decent or somewhat solid in my openings. It's just the middle game that really does throw me off, and I've never been able to really understand some of like I can get some of like the immediate middle game ideas if they're open files. I can put rooks on open files and stuff like that and try to figure out where weak squares or outposts and weak and weaknesses in my opponent's side of things and trying to understand pawn structures and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, need to get better. Space and preventative medicine. The mystery of the center. Weak pawns, strong pawns, weak squares, material loss and sacrifice, and again, like varying lengths. Some of them are not too bad. So far, it's just that one big one. This one's pretty long, about 30 pages. You kind of get the idea. Temporary imbalances, open files, 3 keys to success. Excuse me. Using imbalances in every phase of the game. So, um, oh, I guess some of these other ones, it's really 13. Lucky number 13. So maybe, yeah, we can get through this. My goal is really to post one of these once a week. My plan is to post these on Sunday, so, we'll see how it goes. Key to notation and symbols. So, yeah, some of this I'm not 100% on. Equality or equal chances. White has a slight advantage. White has a clear advantage. White has a winning advantage. Black has a slight. Black has a clear. Black has a winning. So if it's on the left, it's white. If it's on the right, it's black. Yeah. And then some of this stuff I understand. At times when you see backslash standing between 2 symbols like so, the first symbol stands for the result if it is white to move. The second symbol is for black to move. So if it's white to move, then they have a winning advantage. If it's black to move, they can equalize. And then, that is a sharp position. It can go either way, literally, and winning advantages. All right. So for this first one, I'm just gonna take it slow because I need to figure out how to have um, a chessboard up so I can kind of set things up, and yeah, we'll figure all that stuff out eventually. So we're just gonna read today, and kind of get ready for the the journey ahead. It's like going back to school and you just got a new book to read. So I'm just gonna read it all. Preface to the third edition. Again, there is a fourth edition out there. I originally wrote this book when I noticed that most of the instructional chess books really offered no instruction at all. Most chess literature offers a bunch of positions that cater to a theme but never explain how to implement the examples into your own game. I've only read, I've read one of, I think, like a Bobby Fischer book, and it was pretty bare bones in terms of like tactics, like pin pieces, skewers, discovered attacks, and stuff like that, which, before I started studying chess, it's hard to say whether or not I thought about any of that. I have such a hard time remembering any game that I played as a younger person. So I really have absolutely no idea how I played. I do have a chess.com account from like maybe 2019, I think, and I should actually go back to that and kind of, you know, dissect it a little bit to see how I used to play. Um, I wanted to give the serious chess student, from Class D to expert, a way to really improve his or her play. A serious study of this book should enable the reader to achieve this goal. So yeah, the Bobby Fischer book, and I've tried to read a King's Indian book, and then I have downloaded like puzzle books, and that's really all I've ever done. I am hoping to again get better ideas for the middle game, which I feel like I struggle with a lot, and I think I saw endgame stuff here too. But hopefully this improves our chess. I have been more than gratified by the many kind words given to How to Reassess Your Chess by players all over the world. These positive comments show me that the book is doing its job. It's helping people to better understand chess. For this third edition, I have created new chapters, added lots of important examples to already existing chapters, and clarified any obscure language that might have detracted from the instructional value of the text. I hope How to Reassess Your Chess brings you many hours of pleasure and opens up new levels of understanding to the game that we all love. This was from 1993, Beverly Hills, Jeremy Silman. Beverly Hills? So, the introduction. Often when I talk to players of D to A strength, I am surprised to find how little they know about the game. Moreover, when I recommend a book for them to study, they often tell me it was over their head, that they had difficulty understanding its contents. That's true, especially visualizing moves, which I can try to do, but for the sake of everybody, and the whole reason I'm doing these videos, I'll put up a board for us to be able to look at. In particular, I have found that most players have problems with the following subjects: a lack of understanding concerning the true purpose of the opening, no knowledge of planning and the thinking process that make it happen. Yeah, okay. No understanding of the most elementary endings. Yeah, okay, okay. How all three of these subjects are closely connected. I would say that's all relatively true of myself, and you know, I don't, I somewhat understand some opening, um, like the true purpose of an opening sometimes, but I don't understand the deeper meaning. This lack of understanding of the fundamentals often continues for a lifetime. Typical if the is the following story. John Everyman was taught how to play chess by his father at the age of 12. At first he learned the basic rules, and then after he gained some experience he memorized various mating patterns. Everyman was told that he should learn some endgame positions also, so with a heavy heart he took the time to figure out how to mate in such one-sided situations as king and rook versus king. However, he generally found endings boring and not worthy of attention. Everyman was an attacker. He loved chasing an opponent's king across the board. Oop. To this end, He studied chess problems and a few basic texts on combination. Every man reigned supreme on his block. Few could put up even the tiniest resistance. His ego bursting with power, every man decided to extend his area of dominance. He joined a chess club. Against these new, more seasoned adversaries, every man could do little. He would try to attack, but his cowardly opponents would take a pawn, trade all the pieces off, and eventually win the resultant endgame. What was that? But his would take a pawn, trade all. Obviously, had gotten involved in a club of wimps. Real men would never play such chicken chess. Nevertheless, his style slowly went through certain transformations. Every man learned to avoid weak pawns, develop all his pieces before attacking, try to avoid loss of material, etc. Every man didn't particularly like these challenges, but he liked losing to a bunch of wimps even less. The years rolled by with every man memorizing a few opening variations and refining the various positional lessons he had been given by the other members. Soon every man was top dog in the club. His ego soared to new heights. It was time for further expansion. Every man started to compete in tournaments. At first his results were shaky, the chess clock unnerved him, and in general he was looked down on by the top players. This proved to be temporary, though in a way it was rite of initiation. As he became more familiar with the atmosphere of tournaments and as he picked up a few new strategies, every man started winning games with regularity. When he got his rating published, he felt great pride. 1802, a class A player. That's kind of what I would like to be. More time swam by, and every man continued to hone his skills. When not working or spending time with his family, every man would sit back and memorize a few more opening lines and, at times, leaf through a tedious middle game manual. Eventually, every man achieved an expert ranking, and try as he might, he could never get beyond it. This did not have to be the case. Every man was stuck because his foundation was rotten. His knowledge was slipshod and incomplete. Most importantly, he never viewed the game as a homogeneous whole. Instead, everything was made of disjointed fragments. Despite mediocre learning techniques, every man had reached the expert level. Unfortunately, the same mediocrity was now acting as an anchor and was effectively preventing him from getting any better. The truth wasn't pretty, but unless he destroyed that rotten foundation and learned everything again from scratch, he would never get over the expert hump. Every man's story is common. Most players reach a peak and then find themselves trapped there, a prisoner of their mind's erroneous dogmas. Man, this person was trapped at 1900 expert level. Man, um, yeah. Well, I've been stuck in the 1400 overall, and that's kind of why I started making this account, was to keep myself accountable and to limit how many games I played, and also take the time to like memorize them, which I didn't really do for earlier for a game I played today, or a recording I did today, but that's beside the point. But are you in a similar situation? Are you willing to rebuild your foundation, make a change, and reach new heights? If you are, then empty your brain of preconceived ideas, open your eyes, and prepare to be the player you always knew you could be. The purpose of this book is to offer a complete course of study to the serious student. You will be taught the basic endgames, middle game concepts, and the true purpose of the chess openings. You will be shown how to structure your thinking process and how to come up with plans based on the needs of any given position. Tests, basic rules, and other recommendations will also be included. You'll learn how to train yourself and be given all the tools necessary to do this. This book is written on many levels. Much very basic material is included. Study it. Even if you feel you know it, still go over it again. Some of the material will be a bit advanced for many players. Do the best you can with it. Reread this book every 6 months. You will often find that the material that was once an enigma becomes crystal clear with the passage of a little time. This is not simply another tome of the middle game. Instead, I offer a method of controlled thought. We will examine many different aspects of chess, but always through the confines of that method. Enough material is given in each chapter to get a point across. A complete explanation of each subject would take many many thousands of pages. A list of recommended literature is given at the end of this book for those who wish to delve deeper into various topics. It is my contention that any student who seriously studies this book and continues the work schedules therein can eventually achieve a master ranking. One pitfall must be mentioned before we finish this introduction and get into the actual lessons. Most players have developed a certain proficiency with their styles. They are skilled in their mediocrity. When you start changing the way you think about the game, you may find your results will actually get worse. Don't panic. As you master the materials in this book, your downward plunge will reverse itself and you will soon find yourself at a point of understanding and achievement far beyond anything you have previously obtained. Of course, a fall in strength is not necessary. Everyone will react differently to the information inside. One gentleman had an A rating for years but had never won an A section. After one lesson, something clicked, and he won two tournaments straight, both with 5-0 scores. May things go so well for you. Man, and talking about people, whatchamacall, in tournaments and everything, which would be nice down the line. But like it says, it's kind of a slow burn, and I want to take the time overall. So this is just going to be what it is, an introduction to this book, an introduction to the series. I hope you will stick around and read this with me and enjoy this with me, and hopefully we can just study it together. So next week I'll try to read all of the basic endgames, I think. Let's see again how long that chapter is. It's 12 pages long, so at the very least we'll read chapter 1. Yeah, maybe we'll just do a chapter at a time and not go too crazy, at least at the moment. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Helps out these videos, and yeah, hope to see you again. Take care, everyone.